The FM23 winter update brought with it not just new Wonderkids, but upgraded Wonderkids also. So today I'll be making my winter update dream team. A team of 11 Wonderkids who all had some kind of change during the winter update. Some players you might have heard of, and I guarantee you some of them you never would have signed. So let's run the intro and go check them out. Hello everyone, Jake here for FMSCOUT, and as mentioned today, I'll be making my dream team of Winter Update Wonderkids. We've got 11 players, all of which make up a team, players from different positions, and hopefully some of them you won't have heard of. Lots of top talents on this list and people you need to be scouting in your next FM save. Remember, these changes will only take place if you start a new save after the Winter Update, and make sure if you do enjoy the video to smash the like button and comment down below your favourite Wonderkid after the Winter Update. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into our goalkeeper. And for me, it's a tough choice. Lucas Chevalier of Lille was updated in this winter update, but for me, Anatoly Trubin of Shakhtar, the 20-year-old Ukrainian goalkeeper, wins the title of the best goalkeeper after the winter update. Now, I'm not saying all of these players will be the best in their position in terms of upgraded players. No, they're just my personal favourites that make my dream team, but Trubin is already a Ukraine-capped international, 6'6", brilliant attributes all around with room to grow. Now, he did have a potential range before, but now he has a fixed potential rating, and that is 167, which means every save that you load up, he will have that as his potential. So each save at full growth, he could become one of the best goalkeepers in the world. You'll be paying about £30 million for him, so really he's only for those top sides in world football, but he's a monster of a goalkeeper, brilliant aerial reach and jumping reach. Combine that with good attributes all around, and you have a keeper that could set you up for 10-15 years in your save should you sign him. Another player that's on the older side that got upgraded was Adrian Trufer. Now, he went from having a potential range, but now, much like Trubin, he has a fixed potential of 150. And to be honest, fullback is a position that it's very hard to find good players in, particularly Wonderkid. I think over the last few years the options have been very limited, but Trufer is a brilliant all-round left back who's got a great cross on him, brilliant passing, but can also tackle well and has good physical attributes, high work rate, and you can see why he's wanted by Premier League sides here. He's easily Premier League quality, and I'd argue, no offence West Ham and Palace fans, that he could play for a club bigger than them, possibly even a top 6 club. Especially once he develops a little bit, he could definitely be that kind of player. He plays for Rennes, he's going to cost you about £12 million, but act quick before he moves away. A brilliant left back and someone that I think a lot of you will be enjoying in your next saves. Another Frenchman in our backline is El Shadil Bitshiabu, a centre-back from PSG who was already a good Wonderkid, but now is pretty much phenomenal when it comes to the physical aspects of his game. He's got great jumping reach, brilliant in the air, and his other attributes aren't too far behind. He's 6'5", 17 years of age, and you can pick him up for about £10 million or on loan in your first season. I believe he's actually been playing for PSG in real life every now and then, and he's definitely one with great potential. His potential range has been increased now to make him one of the best centre-back options out there. He's left-footed as well, which is always nice to have. He's not really a ball-playing defender, but when it comes to that defensive aspect of his game, he could be absolutely phenomenal once he's developed a little bit. And even though I say he's not a ball player, he's only 17, so if you wanted him to develop into a passing centre-back, you definitely have the time to make that happen. But a huge physical presence at the back of your defence, one of the best upgrades in the winter update. Yes, I could have had Levi Colville as well, who has been made an unbelievable player, but purely because of his transfer fee, I've ruled him out. But Bitshiabu is still a very affordable choice for this kind of ability, but our other centre-back is non-negotiable in this team. It's Ousmane Diomande, who plays for Sporting Club de Portugal in the Portuguese divisions, a 6'3", 18-year-old who they signed from FC Midtjylland out in Denmark very recently. He is just a phenomenal player, great tackler with great passing ability. He's got attributes that centre-backs in their prime of their career can only wish of having. He's just such a dominant defender who can do everything you'd want from a modern day centre-back. Now, I'm not going to talk about him too much because there's a full video dedicated to him that we brought out about a week or so ago, so check that out if you want to see just how good he can become. But Diomande, £30 million, even if you had to pay that, you are still getting an absolute bargain. Before we move on to our next player, I'd like to let you guys know I do have my own channel linked in the description. Now, you've probably heard me talking about it a fair few times if you've ever watched these videos, but we're getting very close to 15,000 subscribers. We're so close now. So if you are someone who hasn't yet checked out my channel, it's all linked in the description, and I greatly appreciate if you could come over, especially if you hit that subscribe button. It will really help, and I do think you'd enjoy the content. We've got rebuild videos over there, as well as a Let's Play series and some YouTube shorts about Wonderkids that aren't good enough to make their own individual videos, but are still very interesting and you might not have heard of. So if you enjoy FM, I'm sure you'll enjoy my channel as well. But with that being said, let's get back to our list and to our final defender, our right back. Now, this one is fairly unnegotiable. He has to be in this list. Ivan Fresnada, a 17-year-old Spaniard. He plays for Valladolid out in Spain and has some phenomenal attributes as well as great potential. Now, if you've seen our content since the winter update has came out, you might have recognised a few of these names already so far, but trust me, when we get to the attackers, there's some real hidden gems, particularly one player that I absolutely love, so do stick with us. But Fresnada, if you don't know about him already, a phenomenal right back with great attributes all around, a lot of room left to grow. He is the best option in that right back position. He has a very high potential range now, and he can easily become one of Spain's best ever players. He is that good, he has that much potential, and even if he does cost you 25 million, it wouldn't be the end of the world because he has got so much room to get better yet. For me, Alex Scott has to make this team in midfield, an 18-year-old English midfielder. He plays for Bristol City in the second division of England. Versatile as anything, can play all of the central midfield positions naturally, as well as on the attacking right position and even right wing back. You could probably train him to be a very good right back too. He has got everything that he needs and a great potential range now. But even without that potential range, he has great starting attributes. We did a full video about him which was released a day before this one, where we've delved into just how good he can become at full growth, and he does unreal. So if you haven't checked it out yet, make sure you do. But Alex Scott is just amazing this year. 10-15 million pounds is an absolute bargain for this kind of player who goes on to be one of the best in your save in his position very easily. A high potential range now of 150 to 180. Even if he falls on the lowest end of that range, you still got an absolute beast. So make sure you check him out. He's got amazing mental attributes that make him a player way beyond his years. So talented, one of my favourites. But he has got some competition in that midfield because the next player is a year younger than him but looks like he could be just as good. And that is Liverpool's Spanish midfielder who's had a breakout year this year, Stefan Bajcetic, who's been doing so well that he's actually kept Fabinho out of the team. Apologies if I've butchered the pronunciation of his name. He's still in my dream team despite having a very high valuation because I just think he's worth keeping an eye on in your save, maybe even getting in on loan if you're a lower down club. It says here he can play as a centre-back, but I think realistically you'd use him at the base of that midfield as the player to link up play between the defence and the midfielders, to bring the ball forward with good passing range, good first touch, very composed in the midfield, and someone that can hold his own in all of these areas. Only 17, so plenty of room to get better. Definitely one to take a look at, but now we get on to some of my favourites. And the first one is Oscar Pereira, a Colombian 16-year-old who plays for Atlético Nacional in the Colombian First Division. Now, I love this guy so much so that I've actually got him in my Aberdeen save, which again is on my channel linked in the description, but that was before he'd had a potential range upgrade in the winter update. But after the winter update, he's had exactly that. He's been made an even better player and can become one of the best in the world in his position. He's extremely cheap for the kind of quality that you are getting here, and he already has 13 finishing, 13 dribbling, 13 first touch, 13 acceleration, agility and pace. I think he's perfect as an inside forward on the attack here on that left hand side. Good technique, work rate, determination and flair. Over time, that's going to get a lot better. He's only 16 years of age here. By the time he's 18 or 19, you'll be looking at a deadly inside forward who could play for most clubs in the world. His potential was already great, but now it's absolutely fantastic. He is one of the most must-sign players in the game now for me. To be able to pick him up for so cheap, it's just a no-brainer. You need to get in there before another club buys him. It's so cheap that all the clubs in the world are going to want him once they realise his talent. So now that you know about him, go and find him quick before they do. Oscar Pereira, what a star. But there's another Colombian Colombian in this side, and that is Miguel Monsalve. He's an 18-year-old who has some under 20 caps already and plays for Independiente Medellin in the Colombian first divisions. Now, I've spoke about him in a video recently also. We haven't dedicated a full video to him yet, but it might be worth doing so because for only £1 million, he is exceptional. 18 years of age with brilliant ability in all areas. He can pass well. He's a good dribbler who can finish, cross, take set pieces, good first touch, a nice long shot, mentally really balanced as well, and physicals, no real fault to his game. He's not going to be a Haaland or an Mbappe, but for this kind of price, you're not really expecting that, but he can definitely grow in to be one of the best attacking midfielders in the world. Because of the club he's at and because he's so cheap, he's not just an option for your Man Cities and your Real Madrids. I reckon if you're a championship side or a club of around that level, you could pick him up quite comfortably. He's an absolute gem of a midfielder. In terms of his potential compared to his price point, he's one of the best investments that you can buy. Him and Pereira for like £2 million combined is an insane deal, and it might be worth scouting Colombia in your next save because they have got some gems. Final two players now, and we had many options when it came to this number 10 position in our side. Plenty of players that were upgraded, but because of how good his attributes are, particularly his technicals, for me it has to be Elise Ben Seguir of Monaco. £20 million or so is very expensive for a 17-year-old, but he's very versatile with some amazing attributes already. 14 technique, 14 first touch, 14 dribbling, passing, vision, off the ball work, flair, decision making, composure. None of it's at a completely exceptional level yet, but remember, he is only 17 at this point. Once he's 20 years of age, you're going to be seeing 15s, 16s, even 17s in some of these areas. He's quick and agile with good stamina and natural fitness. There's no massive fault in his game mentally either. If you're looking for someone to create chances for your team, this guy might be the one for you. And finally, we have our striker. If you've seen the thumbnail and you've tried to work it out, you probably would have guessed the Irish striker up front is none other than Evan Ferguson, someone that loads of people have been talking about since the winter update hit, and for me, he has to be in my personal dream team. Remember, this whole team is all my own opinions, and I want to know who you'd have in your team in the comments down below. But Ferguson, despite his expensive valuation, is just a top draw player, a Premier League quality striker potentially at only the age of 17 or 18. If Brighton use him in your save, you're going to see his attributes fly through the roof. He's getting towards that kind of age now where that game time is going to be massive for him, but if not, maybe you could get him on loan. He's a physical presence, 6'2", good in the air, strong and quick. He's composed in front of goal and makes good decisions. He works hard for the team and works well in the team also with good teamwork. He's a strong aerial presence with 14 heading, but also his finishing ability is high. His technique is strong, his passing is strong, and with some time, he could definitely be a good complete forward, which is something special to say because not many strikers can fit that complete forward role well. He's even half decent on his left foot. This guy is the future of the Irish national team and the future potentially of Brighton's striking position. If you're able to sign him somehow in your save, make sure you do. Maybe he gets transfer listed, loan listed, whatever it might be. Try and bring him to your side and I'm sure you won't regret it. Evan Ferguson, what a beast, what a striker, and that completes my Wonderkid Dream 11 from the winter update. All of these players are players that have been upgraded, either Wonderkids that were already Wonderkids who have been made better, or completely new Wonderkids. Let me know who you would have had in the comments down below. Do you think I missed anyone? Smash the like button if you did enjoy, subscribe for more, and check out my channel, linked in the description down below. But most of all, thank you for watching everyone, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.